On to the big one here. And we gotta make sure we keep it into a tight 120 and we get out of here at the 2 hour mark, maybe. Probably not, but Super Bowl. What are your Super Bowl predictions for this season? You give your Super Bowl prediction. We'll read some from the comment section, and then
Yeah.
I will give mine. What's your Super Bowl prediction here?
Yep. So Super Bowl prediction is going to be maybe surprise some same as I made last year. It's the House of Tilton here in the Super Bowl. It is going to be the Bills, and a lot of people are really kind of putting the Packers to the side because of the loss of Devontae Adams, but I'm not going to put them to the side. I know they've come up short in the last 2 NFC Championship games prior to last year, obviously, but obviously losing to the Niners the year prior and then the Bucks the year before that or after that, and they obviously weren't in it last year. But I think people are shitting on the Packers too much. I think Aaron Rodgers is just enough of a dick to prove that, hey, I don't have Devontae Adams. I can still take this team to the Super Bowl. That combination of LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers has worked so well since LaFleur has been there. And I just think even without Adams, they could have guys like Dub step up. Christian Watson maybe midway through the season becomes a reliable guy for them. They've got Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon tandem. They've got a good offensive line and they've got a really good defense as well. I like the Packers. I think they still have a pretty complete roster, and I'm going to put them in the Super Bowl. Maybe stupid to some people, but I'm going to still put them there. And obviously, I'm going to take them against the Bills. I think the Bills have the best roster in the NFL. I think they have the best team in the NFL. I think they have a tougher road to get to the Super Bowl than the Packers might because just how good the AFC is. But I think Josh Allen's going to be a front runner for the MVP this season. I think the Bills are going to be talked about as one of the best teams in the league, and they may not start out of the gates white hot, but I think by season's end, the Bills will have amassed plenty of wins, and they will be remembering that 13 seconds until they make it to the Super Bowl and take down the Green Bay Packers. So Bills Packers, that's my Super Bowl prediction for this year.
Peter King has predicted, I think, the last like 4 or 5 Super Bowl winners, and he picked the Buffalo Bills in his Monday morning quarterback or whatever his article now is called for Pro Football Talk. So Peter King had the Bills winning it over, I believe, the Eagles. Caden comes in and says Bills Rams. Andy Larson says Bills Eagles. My Jessica Tennant, no, they're talking about Trevor Penning here. Sorry. Randy Hardman says Bills Vikings. That would be an interesting one. The both teams that have been to and lost 4 Super Bowls. Nick G says Bills Bucks. We send Tommy into the sunsets. Bills and Vikings let one of them finally win a Super Bowl. Says Pop Mafia. Going to go the James Cook Bowl, right? So it'll be the Vikings James Cook Bowl. Stephen Burns not buying Aaron Rodgers. He says when Aaron Rodgers proves in the playoffs, it'll be the first time in almost a decade. Mike H is thinking Packers versus Chargers. Carl T, Bills win over Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Tom Brady again loses, retires, and passes that torch on to Josh Allen. Allen in Arizona, says Nick G. The Boomer Bowl, says Jessica Tennis, 49ers and Bills.
Classic.
I am going to go with what is seemingly a very popular pick amongst a lot of people. So I'm kind of a copycat. It's not very original, but I'm going to go with the Bills versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that's the Eagles. I really like what Nick Sirianni has built there. I think he's got the weapons to put up some points. And I really like the additions that they made to the defense, both in the secondary and the pass rush. Adding guys like Jordan Davis up front and some of the other guys that they added. I'm blanking on the guy from Arizona and Carolina off the edge, Son Reddick off the edge, and they added Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and they added James Bradbury. So just a lot of talent. They got a good offensive line. They got some good skill position players, and they got what I think is a good young coach, Nick Sirianni. So I'm going with Bills versus Eagles. Bills over Eagles. The expectation this year has got to be Super Bowl. Am I right? Like it's Super Bowl or bust, I think, for the Buffalo Bills. Yep. A lot of people will say like, hey, it can be a successful season if we don't make it to the Super Bowl, we make it to the championship game again. It'll be a successful season if we make it to the Super Bowl, but lose, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, like
you only get so many chances.
Get so many chances. So for the next 2, 3, 4 years, that's gonna be the prediction on every show. Every show we do. every year, unless something drastically changes. Unless Josh Allen falls off a cliff. Last year we picked the Bills. This year we picked the Bills. We're going to pick the Bills again next year. Like that, because that's the expect. We're Bills fans, and that's the expectation.